clap time. 3, 2, 1. All right, slightly less delayed this time. It was like 3.5 seconds.
That's always nice.
Okay, this episode 23, I think?
Yes.
That sounds right. Yeah. Graveyard
Yeah.
Podcast. Let's do something that we haven't done since we've been back. I'm Adrian.
Oh, we haven't done. Oh shit. Uh, I'm Joe.
No,
uh,
we have not. We haven't said names at all, and I realized that when I listened to another podcast, and we're like, oh yeah, we should probably say our names. And I was like, oh yeah, that's a thing that we should do. So
uh,
now you know.
figures we got that.
Alright, let's jump into it. Yeah, I mean, I think at one point we were like, someone said, well, it doesn't really matter if we say their names or not, it doesn't really matter.
Mm-hmm.
But it kind of does. If someone's tuning in and this is like their first episode, they gotta connect the voice with the names, makes it a lot easier.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay. The hardest part about the podcast is you never know how to start it. Like, so,
No, it's always like we wait
what
for.
have you been doing this week?
Um. Well, been getting like the most like important thing is like got water back to my house. Uh, we haven't had running water
Yeah.
since the start of January, and we just got it back Friday afternoon, I think. So
Well, great. Water is very important.
yes, it is. That was kind of like my weekend, just like trying to get the new pump hooked up and that big ass reserve tank that we pushed up onto that mini hill last year, hooking that up to to the pump and whatnot. So in case water goes out, we have 2,500 gallons of reserve just in case.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's important. I don't know what else to say because that's something I never had to experience with
uh,
where I live.
oh yeah, you and everyone else, you guys live down in the valley. But your water goes out, you either call someone to fix it, or someone just didn't pay the water bill by accident.
Well,
Up here
and the
is
solution is someone fixes it or you buy some water.
uh yeah. So for like 2 months, every day I had to go and go out and buy water. So, but it's just like the worst part was like showering and whatnot, because it's just like there's no running water, so you have to fill up like a pot, like a tall standing pot, and and heat that up on the stove, and then bathe with that. And it's just like it sucks. That's the worst shower, parentheses on shower,
I'm taking
ever.
my plumbing for granted.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's just like me personally, I've never felt clean afterwards with having to do that. I never felt any cleaner. after, like taking a shower that way. So I basically went almost 2 months without showering, and it was so gross. Like I would wash my face just because I absolutely had to wash my face. 'Cause, I don't like when I break out. You know, but it's just like it was just all
Yeah,
kinds of.
just imagine if that happened when we visited you.
Oh
That would have been really bad having a bunch of teenage guys who haven't showered in like a week.
oh god, yeah, no. Lose. I think everyone in my house would lose their minds if that happened. You guys have always just narrowly avoided not having running water or experiencing not having running water for an extended period of time. Because I think the last time everyone everyone was up here, you guys left, and then I think like I don't even think like a week passed before our water like just crapped out. Like you guys left and you took the water with you.
Yeah, I remember that. Remember on Messenger, you're just like, "Hey, our water's not working." Then at first, like everyone was like, "Oh, did someone break it?"
Yeah, I can't remember if it was like you or Turley who said, "Yeah, I stole your water."
I
Somebody
probably
said
said
that.
that. Something I would say.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah. It's so nice being able to do dishes with the fucking dishwasher now, because it's just like washing everything, all the day's dishes by hand just fucking sucks.
Yeah, I can. Well, I can't imagine because well, I kind of. When I was younger, I would stay at my grandma a lot. She didn't have a dishwasher because it was an old house,
Mm-hmm.
or she did, and then she got it removed for or something like that. So we had to do dishes with him, but I was young, so she just did it. So
Mm-hmm.
I haven't had to go through that, but I
Well,
can only imagine.
yeah,
And like yeah,
yeah, but like grandma, she at least had running water, coming out of the faucet. It's just like it's a whole different ball game when you have zero water because it's just there's like 10 there's anywhere between 10 to 20 minutes of prep time to make sure you have both hot water to clean the plates and then cold water to rinse the plates. So it's just like on every night on average, just for dishes, anywhere between 4 to like 12 gallons of water would be used just for dishes because there was either so much that needed to be done or everything was just so dirty you needed to replace the hot water repeatedly so you would be constantly so you could actually clean the dishes.
oh, so you had a lot of fun.
Hmm?
So you had a lot of fun doing this.
The best. Ugh. Ugh. So what have you been up to this past week?
Um, this week, let's see here. Went to work. Now I had to go into that because I ended up talking about Smash Burger for an hour. Did some running a little bit because I have my races in a couple months. So that was fun. Then I practiced for that Super Mario 64 tournament to see if I can qualify. I didn't, but I did get a lot better at the game overall, so that's good. Some good came out of that. And then other than that, it's been like a huge like nostalgia trip. Like the last few days, like took me back to like eighth grade. Like the only way it could have been more just me in eighth grade was going to school and then having Nickelodeon on my TV, but I don't have cable. Like having like
Why? What?
just Drake and Josh playing on TV, and then that would have been like full on nostalgia.
Yeah. What? Why? Why was it such a nostalgia blast? Like, what was going on?
It's kind of just all happened at once. Um, so you've heard, but we started another Minecraft survival world.
Yes.
And that's been really fun.
Mm-hmm.
Last week, we actually had a different one, but then we canned it because Damien started it. And, well, that's bad explanation. Damien started it, and then there's it like, fell apart like real quick, and just one day, like, someone accidentally like let a lot of my animals free, and it made me mad. And then since Damien was in charge, and it's his server, his rules, and
mm-hmm.
so he didn't break the rules or anything because it's his server. But he was
Mm-hmm.
in fly mode, and so he wasn't like cheating or anything. He just had fly mode enabled for some reason, and like that kind of I don't like that because when I hear survival, I think you're in survival mode. That's it. And
Mm-hmm.
Zach said the same thing. So like everyone like kind of just agreed to stop playing until we got a new one, or at least Zach was good to stop playing. So we decided to go back to what we did years ago, which we haven't had this kind of server in a while. We call it SegCraft V5,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't name it that, but it's named after me. Like Zach, like I put up a poll, and I was like, okay, what's we're name it? So I was like, okay, SegCraft V5 or Platinum
Mm-hmm.
Craft V2. Those were our previous two survival worlds that we did, and then People's Craft or what that was something random. Then I said something else, and then the only thing that got voted was SegCraft. I'm pretty sure Zach and Corey voted for that because I didn't vote. Because I didn't like we're
Mm-hmm.
naming it after me. Even though that's what I did when I was 13, but I was 13. Uh, and then this time we made it a little bit harder to do stuff because the biggest problem we have with these servers is one you pay monthly, so ideally you play it a lot during the month.
Mm-hmm.
But
Get
especially
bonus
back
points.
then, the thing that sucked about it was the thing that sucked back then was that we were like 14, 15 years old at most, so just having $20 to spend on a Minecraft server was kind of hard to do. So
Mm-hmm.
that's why we would do it and then just not do it for a while, so we would not get bored of it. But also the biggest issue we had was we would get like Zach especially would get like full diamond armor and like a bunch of extra diamonds and was like done with everything within a week.
Mm-hmm.
And then over time, like I got better at doing that, so then I'm done with Damien, be done in a week and so on.
Mm-hmm.
So we haven't done that in years because we kind of all got really good at survival mode. So we started up this new one, and now it's Minecraft 1.15, and just on the previous server, survival mode's a lot harder, especially at the beginning because there's all these new mobs and stuff you gotta figure out to do and all this new stuff. So it's a bit harder. It's still like reasonable to figure out, but uh, so that's what this new server has. And then also we decrease the amount of ores that spawn altogether.
Mm-hmm.
So it's harder to find stuff. Like you can still get full iron armor pretty like relatively easy. Like I got like 3 stacks of iron and like since it opened yesterday. So it's like
Mm-hmm.
you can still get stuff, but like diamonds are super rare. Like I think like almost everything spawns at like half the rate it used to. But like different people
Mm-hmm.
are having different issues. Like me, I found a total of 20 diamonds so far, which not bad, but usually by this point I would have full diamond armor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I hear you just say that was a lot because of delay, but like I play a game called UHC, which means you gotta be quick against stuff. So I know exactly how to find diamonds super quick and what
Uh-huh.
to do. But this time, like by now, I would probably have like probably close to 50 diamonds if I like spent a lot of time. But I found 20. Damien found a little over 20. Zach found 10, which that one shows you what Zach's usually first one to get full diamond armor. And
Yeah,
then I think
Zach has
Corey
got
found
it.
2. Then our friend Allie found 6. Yeah. So like it's working. So the end. So we changed like the biggest vein of diamonds you can find is 4, and then the amount of veins that spawn were decreased slightly. It's still almost the same amount of veins, but like slightly less. So diamonds are harder to find. Well, they're not necessarily harder to find, just that there's gonna be less of them. And then we
Yeah.
added an MCMMO, which what we used to do on a lot of old servers, which is I love. It's like so I just love it. And so that was nostalgic kind of because it's like, oh, I haven't done this. I haven't like had a full vanilla world that I was in control of because the last couple Damien did. Or we would just have a world and just play mini games on it like we did at NAU because we had
Yeah.
a survival world, but people had commands on it, and then we also turned into like a mini game server, which is really, which was fun, but it's been long enough so now like this survival mode is fun again. So we were
Mm-hmm.
doing all that. That was nostalgic. And then also I started listening to 21 Pilots again, which I know they're a huge big band. How are they nostalgic? For me, when I was in 8th grade, I found their album Vessel. This by watching a random Twitch stream. He's like, "Yeah, I have this new band I like." So this is when before they were big, and
Mm-hmm.
I loved that album. That might be my second favorite album behind American Idiot. So I was listening to that a bunch, like
Mm-hmm.
on loop. Oh, like I've listened to it probably like 10 times this week, all the way through, and I just love it. So that's like it like takes me back to 8th grade, being on Groove Shark, playing Minecraft
Oh
at
God, Groove
3
Shark.
a.m. on a Saturday.
I remember those nights. Those were
So
fun.
that was like super nostalgic for me. Yeah. So it was like a nice little flashback. And the only thing that's unfortunate is that it's not, we don't have like all the same people as
Mm-hmm.
we did back then. Because, of course, we have me, Zach, Corey, Damien, and then you if you wanted to jump on. But then there's also like this other like second group that we had that would kind of cross over.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of like, dang, I kind of wish we could do that. But some of them are busy. Some of them, well, 2 of them are busy. The other one's Charles, and I think he's busy with stuff because he's a bit older. And then someone else I just don't talk to anymore
How
because
come?
unfortunate circumstances. I invited all of them, but one of them got back to me, said if he has time he'll jump on. Other one hasn't said anything. The one that I don't talk to hasn't said anything, which doesn't surprise me. But good times, a good week. And then also I played Mario, which the only other thing that can make that more nostalgic was one Nickelodeon or two me playing Mario Party by
Mm-hmm.
myself a lot because I would do that a lot when I was younger. Or Sonic Adventure 2. Like those games like scream nostalgic for me. And there's probably other stuff I did that like feed into nostalgia, but it's like those are like the big things that stood out. Like if I had
No.
a can of Mountain Dew, that would have made it.
Well, yeah, I remember that you just constantly drank Mountain Dew. Like what was the
That was more
largest amount
that
you
was kind of like
drink?
a joke. I would Okay, so the large amount I drank, because I did, there were times when I drank a ton.
Mm-hmm.
I think the most I drank in one day was 8, and that was literally because I was like, no, I want to see how much I could drink in one day.
Oh God.
And that was a big mistake. I did not feel good after that. But I would probably drink 1 can a day, which is still a bit because it's Mountain Dew.
Mm-hmm.
But like I would like make it seem like I drink a ton because it fit into my character. Because I still do this sometimes. But like I feel like I had to like, represent this character. Yeah, so it makes me seem crazy or whatever. Corey really feeds into it sometimes. I don't know if he's intending to, but he does. Like he makes it seem like I'm like this mysterious guy who people are that like he's scared of sometimes, or like I'm insane. I have like powers or something. I don't know. I'm crazy.
You're
And
really
like
superhuman.
sometimes, yeah. The only like yeah, that was a thing when I was at marching band because you know me, I don't talk a lot,
Mm-hmm.
especially when I'm like in a new group. So they were like, man, you're really quiet, but like you're good at marching stuff for a freshman and stuff, and you're the fastest person here, and you wear sunglasses a lot, and you just look cool sometimes. Like you like no karate or something.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of who I was in the marching band, the mysterious person, up until like my junior year.
You were the mysterious guy up until junior year.
To my sophomore year, and then after they left, like it was a bunch, half the band wasn't there before, so it was kind of like, doesn't really work
Oh, okay.
because like the new people come in and they have their gimmicks, and then that's what becomes popular. It's like kind of like your junior years when you're no longer like the special kid because like you don't have people looking down to you for just, I don't know.
Nobody's looking up to you and
You
nobody's
become
looking down
normal
to you.
your junior years, like yep, in the band.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you're the
I feel like
section leader,
junior year is this.
which I wasn't.
I feel like junior year is
What'd you
this
say?
weird anomaly for high school because like freshman year was exciting. It's scary at the same time. It's a new experience. Sophomore year is like, okay, I understand what's happening, and then junior year you're just like, I'm, at least for me, I was like, I'm here. I don't want to be. And then senior year is like, I want out. I'm done. Bye. So it's just like junior year is like this. I think weird like middle ground where you're like, you kind of like between like you're a freshman, you kind of want to show up because this is your like you know you, your first experience more or less of being treated like an adult, and then you know senior year, you're just done because you're sick of high school, you're sick of the teachers, or you're sick of people of the people you've been uh, interacting with, or whoever, whether voluntary or not, because you got a class with them, and you just hate being around these people or whatever. And it's just like, but junior year, at least for me, it was just like I could take it or leave it. I mean, like, would you agree?
For me, like um kinda, but for me, I hated sophomore year, but liked junior year a little bit. Like my highlights were definitely freshman and senior year. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of it has to do with the high school that I went to, because I think I would have hated any other high school, but my art that one I went to and you did for 2 years, was something else. Like you can ask anyone who goes, there's so many horror stories, but I wouldn't have it any other way. It's like the ideal high school experience for me. That's exactly. I'm glad it happened the way like I went to that high school because I got all these stories I could tell, and then I can look back on it. And I see my brother. Oh, dang! Looks like he's typing. You hear me now? I'm cutting all this out. I don't care if anyone's talking.
You hear me?
Hello.
All right. I think I fixed it.
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. You just got real staticky for me.
Okay.
I
I
I
have
can
no
hear like
idea where
every
you
other
cut off,
word.
so I'll just say what
No, no.
I
I think it was just like my headphones. Like they got
no, it's
weird
like one of
that
those
way.
meme videos where
Hmm. I don't think it was the actual like recording or
yeah.
whatever. I think it was
No, I
just
saw.
it was just my end that got messed up for whatever reason. So because I could still every other word or
That's
whatever I
I'll
could
say
hear
it again
clearly.
because
Okay.
okay. So what I was saying, for me, uh, it was sophomore year was the year I didn't like. Junior year, I liked a decent amount, mainly uh not for any particular reason. I just really liked my sixth hour, so it was a good way to end the day.
Mm-hmm.
So I always ended it on a good note. Uh, and also I really liked I just liked most of my classes. So I got there's one class I didn't like a ton, but it was like, not terrible. That's my worst class. I have it pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
So like junior year was all right. Sophomore year I just didn't like it. Like, the only thing I liked was our marching band show, and it was a show. It's the show itself. Itself I liked. That's like a tongue twister. Uh, because it was like it was a circus theme, which is really fun. But I
Mm-hmm.
didn't like it as much as the other 3 years of marching band as a whole because it made it was more about like, oh, we gotta win competitions, we gotta show that we're good and do stuff like that. And like my freshman year was just like, yeah, we know we're bad, we're just having fun. So I enjoyed that more than junior year marching band. I liked the experience and like the show, and much, but then senior year marching band was like good experience, good show, enjoyed it as a whole, and that kind of like fills out high. It's kind of like my high school experience as a whole. Freshman year, didn't take it too serious, had fun. Sophomore year, uh, took it more serious, but then like it, didn't like everything as a whole. Junior year, like my classes, but as everything else kind of boring. But then senior year was just good altogether.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and what I was saying, I think this is where I probably you couldn't hear me, was that because a lot of I really liked that I went to the high school that I did, and that because like I know you saw on Twitter there was this big thread of all the stories from posting. Oops, didn't mean the name drop. Shame on me.
No way.
Uh, from over the years, yeah, uh, yeah, all the stories from over here, the school's history, and it's just like I know a lot of high schools. You're like, oh, we have some bad stories. It's like posting's on I suck. It's on a whole nother level.
Mm-hmm.
For what
Were
happened.
the stories true?
Uh, what happened there, and oh yeah, they're all true. Like you saw the one that I posted that you were there for in the assembly. I'll just say it on the podcast. It's a funny one. So we had our school decided to be a good idea to have Battle of the Sexes week, and then at the assembly,
Oh.
uh, towards the end, all the guys started yelling, "Make me a sandwich," and all the girls were saying, "Pay my child support." And that was going on, and the school
God.
didn't know what to do because everyone was doing it. Well, not everyone, because we weren't obviously.
No, like
But
Jesus Christ.
me and you just lost it because it was so funny.
Yeah,
I
no,
thought it was
I remember that.
hilarious.
It's just like, cause I felt I just felt like, God damn it, you. Cause I didn't hear the girls yelling back, pay my child support. I just heard all the guys yelling, make me a sandwich, and it's just like, holy shit, you're gonna like,
Oh,
we're
the
all
guys were
going to
way louder.
burn.
They're like, yeah, you're saying we didn't say, and no one else on the podcast who went to that school
Mm-mm.
either weren't there or weren't sitting next to us.
No, no, no,
Like I
like
think that just happened to be today. Zach ditched the assembly. Damien wasn't there. I think Damien was homesick. Corey wasn't there, and it was just me and you, and that's
uh,
what we had.
Yeah, and, like I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I did laugh, but I laughed because I was super uncomfortable, and when I'm uncomfortable and I don't know what to do, I just start laughing to try and like soothe myself. But it's just like I kept thinking. The only thought that went through my head was all of every guy in this school is going to burn because some idiot started chanting that we're all going down. So like I
I was
remember
just laughing because I thought it was funny. I was like, man, this is a meltdown.
yeah, it's just, I thought it was kind of funny too, but it's just like god damn it. Well, in the end, like this is just gonna be bad. But like I don't remember. I remember like maybe one teacher saying something about that happening, and it's just like nothing happened. I don't remember anyone or any group of people being punished for yelling that chant at the school. Do you? Do you remember anyone getting in trouble
Yeah,
for
I
that?
heard nothing about it. No emails, no principal saying anything. I didn't hear anything. Like, I didn't even hear people talk. I didn't hear like other students talking about it either. I just didn't hear. It was just like, okay, just a weird dream.
Yeah, no, because I remember one of the teachers for for the club we went to, video game club. I remember I don't know if it was at the club or it might have actually been at the club. So I don't think I had a class with him with this teacher where he was just like we he said something along the lines of like we literally can't punish all of you because like not all of you did it. Just solely based off like the characters, based off of everyone who was there. They at least did not seem like the person or the type of person who would go along with that chant. But it's just like it said something like don't ever do that outside of the school or ever again. And like for those of you who didn't do it, thank you for not joining in on that chant. So, but he was the only teacher I
You're
recall
welcome.
talking about it.
Yeah. And that's actually one of like the not as bad stories because there are some like really bad ones that are like, oh, that's oof. No joking. Like I can't. There's no laughing on that one. And then there were some that were a little more funny. Like apparently the senior prank in 2012 was that they went to the bus barn for the district and like let all the air out of all the tires. So school started 3 hours late for all the schools that use buses.
uh, it's
But
funny.
of course, not you didn't know about this if you drove yourself to school. So some people drove to school and there were only 2 people in the class. Just imagine that you walk into class and there's 2 people there. You're like, huh?
That'd be awesome. That's fantastic.
Yeah. I also, and the teacher's not making it a work day because it's like, yeah, I'm not teaching this again, and they
Mm-hmm.
can't rely on like 20 people to learn it themselves.
Uh-huh.
So, and the thing is, that's 2012, and of course, the school we went to wasn't a bus school
Mm-hmm.
because it was walking distance for everyone. So I didn't even know about that up until I read it. I was like, dang, I missed out on that. Wish I knew about that. Because that was like what, seventh grade, sixth grade.
Yeah, something like that. 2012. I was about 13 then. I think
Yeah,
I think
I was
that's sixth.
12.
I think
No, I
that's
was
the end
11.
of sixth. I think that's the end of sixth grade going into seventh, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, so I was good old 11-year-old, classic 11.
Stick 10 to
Yeah,
11.
there's just like so many like, and the person did it to prove to their other friend that this high school was like so much crazier than other high schools, and you're just like, yeah, it was.
Mm-hmm.
Can't
What
can't no
what did
denying
you
that.
guys do for
After
your
there's
senior
over
prank?
200 replies.
I'm sorry.
I don't think I wasn't a part of. I didn't hear about it. I don't even think our senior class even did one. I know the year before us, a bunch of kids were like, oh, we're gonna bring our dogs to school,
Yeah,
and that was
I
a
remember
dumb
that.
idea for multiple reasons. Like, yeah, that was just a dumb idea because
Hmm.
there could be kids who are allergic to dogs, and that could potentially really make them bad. And also, what do you think was gonna happen? You're just gonna like, oh, okay, everyone, yes, your dog is here today.
Hmm.
And it's pretty, and there's the culprit's clear because if you have a dog with the other senior prank, they can't prove who did it, and they don't have any evidence. With that, you have your dog,
Your address is
and I'm
more than
pretty
likely
sure
on
they were
that
like,
dog's tag.
okay, you're yeah, and I'm pretty sure they were told that they weren't allowed to walk at graduation or something. They were punished, and I was like, yeah, good move, guys.
No, I mean as long as you get your
And
diploma,
I think the
I'm
one
I
from our
care.
freshman year, yeah, you're right. I think freshman year was kind of dumb too. They just poured like powder everywhere and then put hay in places and like filled a bunch of cups of water and just placed them in places.
Oh yeah,
It's
yeah,
kind of
I
like, all
remember that.
right, you just made a big
Well,
mess.
yeah, we got like an extra like half hour of just of like a late start or something, right? Like it was like a Thursday, wasn't it? And we got like they had to clean up the
Yeah,
hallways.
I was like, all right.
So we got like an extra half hour of just bullshit.
Thank you, seniors.
Like, oh man, no, I don't think.
And then I don't even remember what sophomore years could have been.
I don't think my high school had a senior prank. At least as far as I know, we didn't. I know the prank, the stupid ass prank I wanted to do with uh, the like few the small group of friends I have up here. I know what I wanted to do for fucking prank week or whatever the hell it was called. Uh, basically, basically what I wanted to do was there were there were a good amount of Prius drivers at the high school, and they always always talk crap about about the fucking Prius, and like I get the appeal of a Prius, of owning a Prius, but to me personally, it's just like nah, I'm not gonna own a Prius. Advantages to fuel, the gas mileage. I mean, or whatever. Be damned. I'm not buying a Prius, but my idea for a prank was get like what is it? Like saran wrap and wrap up all the the Priuses, the Prii, whatever the fuck the plural for Prius is. Just saran wrap all of their cars, and like slowly, but like first start out like the first like handful of cars, it's kind of a crappy job, but then it just slowly but surely gets better and better, wrapped, and there's more and more layers. That's what I wanted to do, but I
I
didn't.
that would have been funny.
Yeah, but didn't do it because like no one would go through with it. Would go through with it on it with me. I wasn't gonna do it by myself, so I was just like, damn, this is a good idea too.
If you're at Poston, I guarantee you could have got Damien to do it with you.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, yeah. I could totally see Damien and Turley at the very least doing it with me.
And then you guys would have convinced me somehow. Then Corey, I'm like, oh yeah, guys, let's do it. I want to have fun.
Yeah, Corey just hop on the bandwagon. have no original thoughts for himself. Just uh, monkey see, monkey do with Corey.
No, that's Jack. That's
Oh,
Jack. Is that Corey would have been like,
we would.
"Oh, you guys are hanging out? Okay, I'll just go by myself." And then Jack would be like, "Oh, you guys are doing stuff? Okay, I'm already there.
Well,
You need me to buy supplies? Need me to do whatever? Okay, I'll do it. Okay."
well, here's what we did with Jack. We would just saran wrap him to one of the Priuses, and just like fucking blame it on him. He saran wrapped himself to a Prius.
I can honestly see him messing up that bad, like he's doing, and he accidentally like got the sticky kind of got his hand stuck to it, like under a layer or something. He's like, "Oh, guys, and then like we're already on to the next car, and we just forget about him.
We swing back, point and laugh, take pictures, and then leave.
Okay, have fun.
uh-huh. Oh, what is it? What is it? Dude, talking about this, it reminded me of something. Uh, fuck. Hey, crap. I gotta think about it because it's super funny. It's super stupid, but uh, okay. Freshman year, I believe it was freshman year. There was this kid in my class who was like really fucking annoying, and like just so stupid. Like he didn't do anything. For, he his goal was more or less to just fail high school. At least that's what it looked like. But he's a major jackass and just like just an overall piece of shit. And I hated him. I don't think I had it. I only had like a handful of conversations with him that like were just you know like that were necessary. I had to talk to him, kind of deal. But one day, I believe in between classes, uh, I think just either just before lunch or just after lunch, and either way, everyone's going somewhere, either to class or the lunchroom or whatever. But I see him, and my first thought is, oh great, I probably have to interact with this guy because the class I'm going to is with him. But he's talking to this other dude, and as I walk past him, hmm, I overhear him saying that he 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 went to his car for lunch to go out for lunch, and his car had a boot on it, and he was asking people for a loan for like $400 to pay the ticket to get the boot off. So I was just like, and then as I walked past him, he saw me and he called me by name because he knew my name, and he said, "Hey, do you have $400 you can give me?" And I told him to just go fuck himself. Like, no, I don't have $400. I will never have $400 in my life, and if I do, it's not going towards you. And he went off. He ran after I told him no. He just ran off to the next person he could try and guilt trip into giving him $400 so he could get his car back. It's like it was so
I
fucking
was
fantastic. Uh,
I was really hoping you were gonna say his car was wrapped in saran wrap. Okay, so cutting back in. So randomly, Josiah stopped recording. We still got like the first 44 minutes. So like
yeah.
2.5 minutes ish are
Mm-hmm.
missing. So maybe even less than that, hopefully.
Yeah. If your recording is at like 48 and mine's at 44. You know, but that sucks. That really sucks because I was having a lot of fun with that story. Don't even get to hear my
Yeah,
side.
well, there was like a minute before anything happened.
Mm-hmm.
There was a good minute and a
Uh-huh.
half ish of just silence before we said anything, so probably got most
Uh-huh.
of it.
Yeah. Well, here's hoping that it heard at least some of it, but it's just like kind of just in that story, like like with that dude going around because asking for a loan because he got a boot put on his car because he didn't pay a $25 ticket or whatever for the school, so he can have a parking spot and then has a boot on it, and then being told you have to pay $400 to get it off was just amazing. Because I think everyone who had ever interacted with that guy said like he absolutely deserved it. Like he deserved to pay that $400 just because of how much of an asshole he was. Like I don't even remember his name, but I remember his face. So it's just like if I saw him, I think I'd know him because it's like it's just like the amount of stupid that dude was filled with was amazing for all the wrong reasons. Ugh. But I found that like I think a week or two later that like like they did like the police officer whoever put the boot on his car told him he needed to pay that $400 to really just freak him out because he didn't have to pay that. Like I heard him talking about that like a week or two later. Like, oh, I didn't need to pay that $400. They just said that to scare me or something stupid like that. Uh, but it was still funny watching him just squirm out of pure fear of like having to tell his parents that he needs $400 because he didn't want to pay 25. Ugh.
Yeah, I don't think I had anyone like that I like did like ever like most people didn't like or yeah, but I do have one story. I think I might have said this before in the podcast, but I've never really told other people this. I don't
Mm-hmm.
remember. It's been a while if I did. But in jazz band, there was this one kid. His name. I'm not gonna say his name, obviously. I almost did though. He he was like new, and this was. And when I say new, this is my freshman year, and uh, now at that school, the jazz band is the correct size. But when I started out, there was only I joined a week after, and I was the seventh person and the
Mm-hmm.
only trombone. So we needed like anybody we can get to switch in because in jazz band you want five saxophones, four trombones, four trumpets, and then four people for the rhythm section. So that's 17 people. But we had
Mm-hmm.
seven after I joined, and then a day after someone else joined, and then like another day, the person I'm talking about came in, and he was a little awkward, as we learned over time. Kind of like it's kind of like Corey and Jack, but a little worse. So he just says dumb things sometimes,
Mm-hmm.
and is just awkward. Like says the wrong thing, some just awkward. No good
Mm-hmm.
way to describe it. Um, and then that was like 2 years of him in jazz band, getting to learn see it every day. It's like comical still though, so it's not like terrible. But like one thing I have in mind because it's the one that always comes to mind if like people who are there, uh, and in music, you have notes, and then to go a half step up, you add sharp to it, and to go down, you add flat to it. So there's F sharp and G flat. Those are the same notes, but typically in music you say F sharp because that's just the way you say it. Like no G flat's correct too, but everyone says F sharp. That's the way. But he would say G flat, and we were laughing because he kept saying it, and he's like, "Oh, okay, it's funny." So he did one of those things where he kept saying it, not realizing that we weren't laughing with him. Uh, yeah, that he was quote unquote wrong, and then like a lot of other instances like that. Like he said, he was really good at playing guitar, and he wasn't bad, but he was just like, nah, stick to saxophone. And then there was another time where my friend was the first alto sax, and he was the second one. And then he's like, "I challenge you for your first alto spot, and that's what you can do." So our band director at the time said, "Okay." Both of you made my first friend play it. Did really good. Then had him play it, and he wasn't terrible. And she's like, "Well, you tried. Okay, do you understand the way they are?" And stuff like that over the course of years. Junior year, I walk into my earth science class, and I see him. I'm like, "Oh boy, be a good class." Second day, he has a giant bag of fruity pebbles. Starts eating it in the middle of class.
Oh god.
And then like 2 days later, never saw him again.
Like ever?
No, I like on Facebook I saw him, but never at the school.
What? What happened to him? Did he get like expelled or something?
He wasn't on the class roster anymore. He might have moved or something. Just didn't say anything because he also wasn't in band anymore. So maybe like he knew he was moving. We were just there having fun. He's like, "Yeah, I'll eat fruity pebbles. Why not?" Middle class.
I mean, no, you're not gonna be there long. They just go ahead, have a field day.
Trying to think if I have any other like stories that are okay to tell from the school, but some of them are just no. Oh, okay, yeah, I got one. Okay, me, Damien, band
That's
bro
already
since fifth grade.
fantastic.
Uh, we had sectionals after school senior year, and then also the same day we did sectionals, we also have I think Tuesday night rehearsals. It was that year, so it's pretty much we're at school all day from when school ends. We're there until like 8. So we're taking our bathroom break, and we walk into the bathroom, and then we're taught this is really bad out of context, but we were joking about a school shooting
Oh god.
or talking about it or something.
Oh my god.
Not like we were going to do anything. We were just like
Yeah, yeah,
he
I know.
something someone else said uh on a in a game like they made a map for a school like on a game like one of those FPS games, and they made a school map. So
Oh Jesus Christ.
I promise you, we didn't do anything. Um,
I know, because you're here talking
then
in the
walk into the
microphone.
bathroom. Yeah, okay. Um, so we walk into the bathroom, and it's after school, so we're not expecting anyone to be in there. So we walk in
Mm-hmm.
there, and we're like laughing about it, and then we just hear in the stall someone go, "Benjamin, Benjamin."
What?
And then we just look at each other and just run out of the bathroom. We're like, we're not dealing with this. And then as we get halfway down the hall, I turn around and I see my statistics teacher, and he's just looking at me. I was like, oh boy.
Oh god.
And then
Oh.
it never came up. So it's just like, all right.
Oh my god. That's That's fucking terrible.
There's nothing wrong with nothing wrong with the school. That story, just things happen. That's more. I think that's more like a normal high school story, not
Uh,
not a not not not
and
a our school special.
unfortunately, it's normal. It's a normal school thing. Very unfortunately, but can you imagine if like whoever was in that bathroom came out and saw your what your statistics teacher and said like, "Hey, these two kids just ran out of the bathroom and they were talking about a school shooting and like and laughing about it."
Yeah,
Could
that
you?
could have been gone very bad, but it
Oh,
didn't.
like
I'm just now realizing that could have happened. Like I didn't even think that didn't even occur to me until right now.
it only just now occurred to you.
No,
Oh god.
because I thought it was a funny thing. Me and Damon were both just thought
Oh
it was
my
really
god.
funny. Then afterwards, we went to go. We told everyone in the band not the school shooting part. We usually leave that part out. Just you walk into the bathroom, you hear someone yelling Benjamin.
Oh my god. Holy shit. Just like
I gotta
somewhere
bring that up
in
with Damien next time I talk to him.
just just think about it. Somewhere in an alternate universe, that exact thing happened. Like that exact sequence of events happened.
And I'm
It's
in
just like
jail.
you imagine, yeah, you imagine the fucking court. you you you'd be like sued or something, or you'd be prosecuted for ex- uh um the hell is the terminology um fuck, I can't think of the word. Uh, fuck, I can't think of it. Boy. I feel really stupid right now because I had it and then I lost it. Fuck. Uh,
What's the context of the word?
I don't know. God damn it! I had the exact wording I was going to use and it just fucking packed up and left. But I don't know. Like you, I think it. I think. Oh, I think I wanted to say like in that universe, you and Damien would be fucking like prosecuted for for conspiring. Conspiring. That's the fucking word I was looking for. Conspiring to commit a school shooting. God damn it.
Okay, yeah, I think
I
that's the most extreme thing that would have happened. But I know the
mm,
teacher, and he's that kind of teacher who would play like Secret Hitler as for fun with Cards Against
oh
Humanity. So
Jesus Christ.
I think he would have asked me like, okay, it's, so you want to tell me? I would explain to him, and he'd be like, okay, thank God, do not want to
Mm.
follow that.
Oh. Ugh. That took me way too long to figure out the word conspiring.
Oh, I thought the word you're thinking was prosecuting, and I was like, really?
No, oh,
Conspiring
I
makes
had
more sense.
prosecuting. Yeah, yeah, like I like prosecution for what? You know, like you didn't do it, you just talked about it. But what's that word
I
when
almost
you're
said
just
treason.
talking about the plan? Like, oh, oh, what is it? Like, it kind of reminds me of like something like it's like way less like possibly damaging to your entire life. But like it's just funny the way it like lined up, the sequence of events played out. Um, my mom, she likes watching the ID channel, which is just it's a bunch of it's just a programming show with a bunch of like murder mysteries or how like murder was solved or blah blah blah, a thousand ways
My
of
mom watches
murder.
that too.
Yeah, my mom loves the show, and my dad calls it like my dad jokes and says like, oh, it's you watch like to my mom he says like you watch these shows and you take notes so you could get away with my murder. And my dad calls that the murder channel, which I find hilarious because that's kind of what it is. It's the murder channel. It's all about murder 24/7. But one day when we were still living down there in the valley, my dad came home. I believe he worked night shifts at this point, so it was during the day, like in the morning or something. Um, talked to my mom. She's watching the ID channel, and they both go upstairs. And I don't know what they were watching, but they like the host of the show then says, uh, Shirley, which is my mom's name, followed her husband up the stairs and and then murdered him on the stairway. So my dad stopped dead in his tracks and just turned around and looked at my mom, and they both just laughed because, like, like it's just like the host was describing a
That
murder, and the way is like he was like narrating their lives for a minute, like because they were both walking up the stairs, and my mom was following my dad up the stairs. Like,
imagine if it just kept going on, and then their kids, Joe, and then name starts saying your other siblings, and they say your dad's name at some point too, and you're just like, what would the odds of that be?
it was just fantastic because then the host said something like Shirley was a complete lunatic or something along those lines, and my dad just looked at my mom and she just gave like gave a smile, like super innocent, like that that's not me, but I am crazy kind of. So that was just super funny, like coming home and then listening to that story. It's just like that's just fantastic. That's a amazing one in a million chance of that happening at that time.
Yeah, that's something you can't make up.
No, it was just like I wish I was home. I wish I had been home for that because I would have laughed my ass off. Because just hearing it from my mom and dad telling that story is just fantastic. But it's just like I can't imagine how much funnier it was being there and listening to the TV. Like, oh, that would have been great to be there that day. Oof.
Something that I also realized. Um, so our school, we talk about it a lot. Almost every episode, we mention it. Tell some kind
Mm-hmm.
of story from it. All these stories. The school, the 4 years that we went, was an A plus rated school,
Mm-hmm.
and that's like a like irony almost. That school would be A plus rated school, but then everyone who went there during the years it was A plus rated has all these stories,
Mm-hmm.
and that's like all the evidence about why it shouldn't be an A plus rated school.
Uh-huh. Yeah, no, I remember that. Like, I remember one day we were at lunch and we were eating outside, and like a fight broke out like directly behind us, and we didn't notice until after it was over. Like, or at least that I didn't realize it. Somebody, I think Turley pointed it out to me, like, dude, there was a fight just now, like right there in that fucking like. just below, just next to that stage that was there. You know what I'm talking about.
Did you say something? Because you cut out for a second.
Oh God.
It was only for a second. I heard everything except on that stage right there, and then you cut out.
Oh yeah, no, no. I stopped. I stopped talking. I was waiting for an answer.
Okay. So it
Like
cut
you,
out like right when you finished saying stage, so I thought you were still talking.
no, no. I was pretty much done. I was like next to that stage, and he's just like. Then I asked like, do you know what I'm talking about, right? And then there was nothing.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. You know what you're talking about.
what I find funny is just like, that school. It was an A+ school, but then like as soon as I moved, like that was like when like you guys really started having stories about like how insane the school went. Like as soon as I left, the school like just seemingly nuked itself
No,
with how
apparently
crazy it
the year
was.
before he went there too, it was crazy.
Mm.
It just when you were there it was just the most peaceful the school ever was. Because I know 2 years before when it was a D-rated school, and then the year
Mm-hmm.
before it was a B-rated school. So, and I know it takes a lot for a school to be lower than a C. Because I heard stories
Mm-hmm.
that from one of our teachers from the elementary school was that there'd be fights there. Uh, that's all I'm really gonna say is what from what I heard is that there's fights like nearly every day.
Mm-hmm.
Like I
Yeah.
heard from the principal when the previous was by the end of the first month there was like 8 fights already.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember that. I remember hearing something like that.
And then you showed up and you you cleaned that school up, got A+ grade, and then you left and it went back down.
that was so funny to me. Like first year, freshman year, it was pretty good. It was a school. I don't remember a fight happening freshman year. Like maybe except for
Probably
like
was one, but it's like, eh.
yeah, it was like so minor, like it didn't matter. Like the most like the weirdest thing, the worst thing that happened like freshman year was like the first day of freshman year. I sat down for lunch and then like some I want to say maybe sophomore or junior. He sat down in front of me and asked me if I wanted to smoke some weed. Like day one, straight out of the blue. Like, hey, you want some
I
weed?
was
It's
literally
like,
going to bring that up
yeah,
too.
yeah, you were there. I forgot about that. It was just like I've never forgotten that because it was just so like, what? Really? Already? Uh,
I
I
remember
was.
before we started going there when I was in 8th grade, we had band day. So all the bands in the district went to the school, and just had like a concert showing just for each other, just to show what
Mm,
we been working on. It was really cool. That's the concert I played 21 Guns. That was the favorite song
nice.
I've ever played in band. Um, and I remember when we were on our lunch break, I was sitting there with all my band friends, and one of the high schoolers came up to me. He's like, "Oh, you're in band? You should probably get out of there. You're gonna get beat up if you're in band in high school." Never happened.
Wait, you should probably what?
Which he said if you're in if you're in band in high school, you're gonna get beat up for it,
Mm,
whatever, and that never happened. Well,
yeah,
obviously you would know about it.
yeah, because me and Turley would have kicked someone else's ass.
And that was the great thing. I was a band nerd, and I had two of my best friends were way bigger than me, and one of my best friends was way nerdier than me.
uh, wait, which one? Who's way nerdier?
I was gonna say Corey. Damien was like equal with me because we were both in band, and then
Mm,
you and Zach were both taller and stronger,
mm,
and then Corey, it's Corey. Not to be mean, but it's Corey. He knows it.
The human shield.
He he
The,
he knows all the jokes. He knows we're joking most of the time.
mm, yeah, no, that was always like the weirdest thing. Like looking back on it, like the unspoken rule, like always was just like I think between me and Turley was like if anybody messes with Adrian, we go fuck them up for messing with Adrian, kind of deal. Like I just remember that because it's just like that's just always how it felt. Like there's an unspoken rule between me and Turley. Like somebody fucks with our group, we go fuck with them, kind of deal.
Yeah. Except when you guys weren't there, it kind of sucked because there was one day me and Corey sitting down for lunch, and this one bigger guy came up with his girlfriend, and they went to sit, and we were like, "Hey, we're here first." And then he slammed his table up, and Corey instantly got up and just left. I was like, "All right, I'm out," because I wasn't gonna move. And then Corey like instantly was like, "Yeah, bye." I think you
Oh
guys.
my
I think
god!
you. I think everyone else was getting lunch because we were holding like everyone's bag, so we had to grab everyone's bag and carry them over to a table in the sun. And you guys
Oh
are like, "Why are we
shit!
sitting in the sun now?" And I was like, "I don't know. I'm sorry."
Corey doesn't have a backbone, and I wasn't gonna stand by myself.
Oh, I was a freshman. This guy was definitely at least a junior and was on a sports team. I stood no chance.
uh, yeah, in that situation, I don't blame Corey for saying, you know what, I'm gonna cash my check and just leave. uh,
Yeah, he didn't even say move. He just slammed his hand on the table and was like, just looked at him and Corey is, he's gone. I was like, all right.
yeah, I don't think I could really blame Corey for that one.
Yeah, I don't blame him either. I was like, I if he stood, I would have stayed.
Mm-hmm.
But if he left, I was leaving too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's strength in the group kind of
If,
deal. That like pack mentality. As long as I'm not by
yeah,
myself, I'm
if it
strong.
happened like 2 minutes later, you and Zach would have walked over and we would have been good.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Together we stand. Divided, we're fucked.
Yeah, 100%. I remember a
Think
teacher told me some during my at the end of senior year. He came up and said, "Hey, you guys are almost done with your high school time, and I just want to let you know I still talk to all my friends from high school, and like once a month we sit down and talk about like all the dumb things we did during high school. So if you don't got any memories with your friend like that, make some now." And he's completely right. That's all we do. Talk about things we did during school, and we still
Oh,
got
you
10
know,
more stories to tell because I know
it
there's
really
still
is.
some that we haven't said.
Uh, Jesus Christ, it really is. That is more or less all we do. It's either we talk about our experience through high school, what we did or didn't do or wanted to do, or it's about fucking FNAF. That's all we talk about. Uh,
Yeah, FNAF. High School and FNAF. That's the episode title.
uh, Jesus Christ. Fuck. That's fucking that's kind of messing with me because holy shit, that teacher is so right. I mean, we don't we do it we two of us we at least do it
Yep.
once a week. Oh shit.
And the best part is, I know because of senior how like how it's split up with who is still there. There's so many stories that I probably don't even know about from Damien and Corey, just from them
Mm-hmm.
being at lunch. I mean Zach not being there. So I want to try to get them both on more often and just hear what stories they have. Because they had another group they sat with lunch with, and Corey and Damon were kind of like the you and Zach of that group. Not as insane because they're like the jokesters and the memers, the clowns. They
Mm-hmm.
were more like us, not like we tell jokes and stuff, but we're not like the crazy ones. We're not the ones that we're like, okay, go get us lunch.
Mm-hmm.
Which sounds really mean that I think about it.
Well, let's see if we could get like a Corey on next week. Corey and Damien. Because like what the last two, three podcasts, it's just been
We
us.
wouldn't get to get Corey on. It would have to be a little earlier, and Damien's a little harder because he works at night. So
Mm-hmm.
if he went to bed earlier today, he probably would have been on.
Mm-hmm.
And I know Zach has some stories from NAU that he's probably already told us, so it'll be fun for the podcast. And then also just high school because I don't know. I feel like we all have stories that we from like when we weren't as a group.
Mm. Yeah, no, because I got a few stories that I don't think I've told you, you guys. I know I haven't said them on the podcast though. Like, but I may or may not have told them to you. But I got a few that I think are just absolutely hilarious, and I still think about them sometimes, and they just make me laugh because it's like, God damn it, that's so stupid looking back on it, but it's also so funny that that it happened or that this or that was said. It's just like, God damn it, this high school is simultaneously like super great and super terrible and cringy, and you wish you could forget everything that happened. Uh, oh.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I don't think I said it again, but this is when we had to make the cut. Uh, the high school was super crazy, but I'm glad I went there because of all the stories and the experience as a whole. I think was
Mm-hmm.
good because I think if I went to any other high school, I would have been so bored compared to ours. Like, there's a lot of bad stories, a lot of funny stories, but there's also a lot of good memories. So
Mm-hmm.
glad I went through it.
I think we should start wrapping up the podcast.
Yes. So the final segment that we've done twice is what is something you're looking forward to that it could be anything. What's something that you're happy about that's coming up?
Oh. Um. Okay. Well, I forgot to mention this earlier, but in the like what happened this week, uh, the I think it was either yesterday or the day before. I can't tell anymore because it's past midnight now. While we're recording this, but like the other day, we got chickens, so I'm looking
Ooh.
forward to when they're fully grown and we can put them outside and they just eat all the ants and bugs and and shit that just annoys the hell out of us. So I'm really looking forward to that.
Are
Granted,
those like chickens you're gonna like kill and then eat, or like for eggs, or
um,
both?
right now it's looking like just eggs. I don't know the full plan, but it is definitely like more like as an egg for eggs. I don't think we're gonna use them for meat.
Okay, that makes me happy because I recently watched a documentary about Super Size Me 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was focused on chickens this time and about like
Mm-hmm.
what they do to get them in a restaurant. And it just made
Mm-hmm.
me so sad because I know because those chickens they live for 6 weeks and they're dead, and then they were through genetics over the last like however many years Like instead of like
Hmm.
taking like I know like a few years ago they took 20 years to get fully grown and be ready to kill, but then now it's 16 weeks and it's getting shorter. So they grow so fast that in 2 months, if a baby grows at that a 2 month old baby, if it grew at the same rate that those do, they would be like 800 pounds.
Jesus Christ.
And then the chickens like they die of heart attacks because of how fast you're growing, their body can't handle it, or like their legs will break or something like that.
Hmm.
And then they have to be given access to be called free range. So they set up a tiny little gate so they can take so like 10 chickens can be outside at once, and that's like all the space they get outside. And it's like, man, I real that like makes me so sad. And like even like the farmers get it pretty bad. Like they have a tournament system where like it's like a challenge to see who gets the best whole chickens, but like the
Hmm.
person giving out the money also decides who gets what chickens. So if you speak out against the like how they're treating the farmers, they'll give you some bad chickens and you don't get paid. That was like overall just a terrible experience. So like if you're like having your chickens that live happily out, that makes me feel good. Yes. Okay, and the thing I'm looking forward to, uh, is gonna go real simple. The Minecraft server has like 2 days in, and I'm really loving it. Like I found this really cool mountain, and it's like huge. Like it's like not 100 blocks tall, but it's pretty big, and it's like has like this cool place where I put my farm and all my animals and everything. Then it has like it's like perfect. And I then like Zach likes to do his inside of like a mountain, and I sent him a screenshot of mine, and he was like, "Dude, like he's jealous. I heard jealousy coming from him when he saw my where I'm building my house, and it's like so cool. Like I'm literally looking forward to that. And like I have so many like ideas, and it's been a while since I've done like one side of a mountain. That's what I did a couple, I think, on the first SegCraft. Because I usually do them in
Uh-huh.
trees or like in a forest or something like that. So just really looking forward to it because it's like nostalgia, but it's also like legitimately fun because we got I told more people about it that we know.
Hmm.
So I got the five of us, Charles, our friend Snips, who you haven't talked to yet, um, and some of our other friends that we just knew from high school or over the years. Try to see if we can get more people on. And
Like who?
we already have more people than the last couple servers have had. Mason, I know you know him.
Yeah, I know Mason.
Jenna, I know you know her, but I don't think she'll be on. I just told her because we hang out, because like B Damien hang out with her Mason sometimes. So I'm like, yeah, if she has Minecraft, she'll get on. If she doesn't, whatever.
Hmm.
Jack,
No.
which
Okay.
should be. Yeah, I had a feeling you would react like that, but you don't have to talk to him. He'll just be there. And I will say he's been better since sophomore year. He's a lot less annoying.
Yeah.
Um, who else did I invite? I know way back in the day, you remember? I don't know if you remember them, but Josh, Savannah. We used to play Minecraft with them back in like 8th grade over the summer between 8th grade and high school. Josh
Um.
said maybe Savannah hasn't got back to me.
Yeah, I remember Savannah, like Savannah and Georgia, right? Those two. That's what you're talking about with
Yeah,
Savannah. Yeah, I remember her. I don't remember Josh.
yeah, yeah. He was there. He's part of that same group. I invited Georgia, but we don't talk anymore. So I
Hmm.
doubt she'll play. We haven't talked in like a year. Unfortunate. But if she joins, cool. Could repair that friendship. If not, then can't get any worse. Um, I asked Jared Campbell. I'll cut out his last name just so. what Jared I was talking about. I asked
Mm-hmm.
him. He's a little busy.
Yeah, he's
Allie,
he lives in
who same group with, huh?
like he lives in Chicago now, I believe. Last I heard from him, he does
Yeah,
at least.
yeah. I sent him a message asking if he would be interested. He said if he has time, he will, but he's busy. He doesn't play Minecraft as much as he used to.
Mm-hmm.
But if he wants to, he's free to join. And then Charles, my cousin, friend of the show,
Mm-hmm.
and then two of my other friends from Maine that you don't know. One's Joey, and then Anthony. They both said if they can, they will, but they're one's in college, one's high school, and doesn't have a good computer. But lots of potential. We already got 6 people on, and you haven't even got on. Charles hasn't got on yet, so and I'm still expecting Jack to get on at some point. So it'd be 9 people on the server at once, which should be fun.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm still looking through my friend list, see who else I can invite. Over time, start out with a small group, then slowly spread it out instead of just everyone at once.
That always sounds fun. I always remember the more people we had on the server, the more fun it was. Like I remember on one of the servers, I believe I made my house, and it was relatively crappy, but more or less because I was like new to Minecraft building and whatever, so I wasn't like great at building my houses. And I remember every time I would log off, get back on the server, my house would be griefed, not terribly, it wouldn't be leveled, but a block here and there would be gone. And I missed a tool or two, like a pickaxe or a shovel or whatever. And I eventually found I decided to expand my house or something, and I found a chest with all my stuff in it that had gone missing, and found out that it was Charles who was just fucking with me, stealing my shit and taking blocks from
He
my
does
house.
that so much with unintentionally.
Uh, but I'm pretty sure there's a sign on the block on the chest. I don't remember what it said, but I remember it being there. But it's just god damn it. I remember I'm pretty sure I got back at him and I just leveled his shit. I covered it in lava and whatever else.
And that's how SegCraft V1 ended,
Yeah,
I think. Because
I
I remember
corrected
this happen. I remember this happening.
yeah, I just remember I cranked it up to 11 because it was okay, you want to mess with me, I'm gonna mess you right back, and I'm gonna make it way worse, just so you remember that you messed with me.
Yeah, yeah. That threw me back in time to eighth. I think eighth grade. That was back before we had money, so I would find a website that would host it for free. But
Mm-hmm.
it could only host it if I turn it on, and it can't just be up with no one on. So anytime anyone would message me, I would have to run to my computer and open it up for you two. And that was back when it was just the four: me, you, Zach, and Charles.
Mm-hmm.
Like that was before even Damon and Corey were in the Minecraft circle with us. So that's
Mm-hmm.
old school.
Yeah, yeah, that's real old school for us. Blast
And I
back.
think that was back when Zach would play on my brother's account
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I played on
because he
mine.
didn't have an account yet.
I played on mine too. I played on my brother's account. I rented that for a long time because I didn't have my own. I think I only had my own Minecraft account
Yeah,
for.
and then I remember SegCraft. Oh, sorry.
I hate this delay so much. But yeah, I'm
We're
pretty
getting
sure
better at it. Ow.
I only had my own Minecraft account for maybe a year and a half before I moved and lost internet. So My Minecraft account was just pointless. So I was just like, yay! I finally had my own Minecraft account and my own skin, and I had my own shit on uh, the servers I would play on, and the servers that all of us would get on and play. It's just like, and that, and it meant absolutely nothing for like 3 or 4 years because I didn't have internet. Uh,
Yeah. Like now that because like I remember I was talking to Zach, I was trying to figure out like what server was which, like what was SegCraft V1, what was just the random world, and what was like Platinum Craft,
mm-hmm.
and that was definitely SegCraft V1. Like before I even named it that, like it didn't have a name, but I remember the server after that I called SegCraft V2, and that's when we got Damien, Corey, and I think Josh, maybe Savannah, but it was
Mm.
definitely just us, Zach, Corey, Damien, and Josh and Charles and Josh, and then expanded in SegCraft V3. I think you were gone for SegCraft V3. I think you weren't there for that one or SegCraft V4. I remember SegCraft V3 sucked. No one enjoyed it.
Why?
And
Why?
then V4, I just don't. Uh, well, okay. Well, first, I think there was a SegCraft 2. I call it SegCraft 2.5 because what happened was for SegCraft V1, I asked Zach for help. And SegCraft V2, I asked Damien for help. So I was like, okay, I'll ask Corey for help this time.
Oh
And
God.
like I'm with the servers, I would plan them out. So I would like go into like me and Zach would talk about it for a while, plan it out. Like I'll ask everyone like what kind of plugins they want because I don't like doing bots because it would lag my computer. And then
Mm-hmm.
like work on a spawn and put a lot of work into it. And
Mm-hmm.
then I would run it because not to diss on anyone else, I'm the most trustworthy that we know I'm not gonna cheat. And I
Yeah.
don't think
Yeah.
I know you won't cheat either. But I
Mm-hmm.
just say some to other people I have caught cheating. So that's why I
Mm-hmm.
would run it. Um and then uh, so I would do all this stuff, get everything set up. I would go through like the files of all the plugins and stuff and start editing them to adjust values for like that would be better. And then Corey, like I was talking to him, and then a day later, he's like, "Okay, I bought a server. It's up." And I was like, "No, it's not how this works. I buy it.
He
I
skipped
do
this.
everything. We work on the spawn together and stuff." And then he just bought it. I was like, "Jeez."
He just dived
And
right
then no
in
one
head
played on
first.
it. And like he straight up just told everyone, he's like, "Hey guys, new server." It's like he just bought it. He's like, "Okay, I bought the server. Let's work on it." I'm like, "Okay, cool. You buy it. That's fine." But he just gave everyone a P. And then I didn't play on it. Zach didn't. Damien got it for a little bit. Then we told him what happened. And then he got off and was like, yeah, no.
Mm-hmm. No,
But
I do
then we
remember
made
hearing
SoCrafty
that.
3. Yeah, we definitely told you about it. And then I made SoCrafty 3. I did that alone. Did not get Corey's help for that one.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, did it, and then it just wasn't enjoyable. Like, we only did it for literally 2 weeks, server was dead. And this is when I got Jared on, and Josh was on, and yeah, it just didn't work out. I think it was too soon after StarCraft V2 or something, or we just weren't ready for it. But the good part of that was that we used the server Corey bot, and we made that like a mini game server, so we played like actual mini games on that with just us. So that
Mm-hmm.
was fun. Oh, you were. I'm just now realizing you weren't there for like all those time to be like bot servers for mini games, and they were super fun. You need to do that again now that you can.
I missed a lot. I missed a lot of
There were
Minecraft.
some good. Like we would have like PvP battles. We had yeah we had like a map for Mike Myers and one person be Mike Myers, and everyone else would just be running around trying not to die. But Mike Myers can only walk and use ender pearls. It was that was fun.
That makes sense. You could also do that with Jason Friday the 13th.
Yeah, I think that's my. It was one of those two. Yeah, we had a lot of fun with those. We would also just like have PvP battles. Like everyone would get a kit, and then you get 5 lives. You got to kill each other. We did that a
Nice.
lot, and then we just make up random mini games because those are always like the most fun. You just make up a game as you go.
Mm-hmm.
And StarCraft V4, I honestly don't remember very much. I just remember it was just better than the V3, not as good as V1 or V2. Well, better than V1, not as good as V2. And then I remember I had shops because I wanted it to be harder, and I thought everyone just would just follow this rule. I'm like, okay, since I want it to be harder and I can't get the diamonds to spawn less, if you can only take up to 4 diamonds per vein. If you find more, let me know and throw them out. I don't know why I thought everyone would just do that. I thought everyone would obey that rule.
Yeah, sure.
I did. So when I saw
Of
everyone
course
else
you
at full
did.
diamond and I didn't, I was like, all right, that didn't work.
Something's wrong. Of course,
Yeah, then
of
I remember
course.
and then we had a shop system, which was cool. Like you can, like there was on server currency. That was cool. I might bring that back in the future. But now we have V5 and V5. I just want to say I love it so far. Like, and now we're older. Like, there's no griefing. Like, just unspoken rule. Like,
Mm-hmm.
don't grief unless you just unless someone's griefing you first. You don't grief back. Like everyone's cool. Like we visit each other's houses, trade and stuff. It's like really, it's just nice. Just a good experience.
Mm-hmm.
This is so far my favorite version, which makes me happy.
Oh, well, this wrapping up
I was
tonight.
also thinking like in the future we make one of these. Yeah, it took 20 minutes, but we were having fun. I was thinking like in the future maybe it would be six or something. We can make that a YouTube series like from the start.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how we would do it because there'd be so many perspectives and stuff. But I think something cool will come from it.
Mm-hmm. I know some channels do that. They have like 5 or 6 people doing like a one Minecraft server, and then they intercut everyone's perspective every now and then. But like you can hear everyone throughout it, kind of deal. Like no Rooster Teeth does
Yeah,
that.
I was thinking like either like we all record a perspective from our own for our own channel and just record whatever we're doing, or have it like on the gaming channel and then just focus on like yours or mine throughout the series and like you have guests throughout the way like for stuff. I don't know. We can figure it out. We have time.
Mm-hmm. Kind of like keep you
I
like
also would love to.
whatever interesting is happening, keep it there. But every now and then cut between everyone else, like as like a checkup. Like, oh, this is these two are building this, and it's been a while since we've seen that, so let's cut here and see where they are now. Like, oh, hey, this the house is almost finished, or
Yeah,
just that kind of thing.
I would also like this is what I've been wanting to do for years is do like a big UHC thing that we did. I don't know if you remember that, but like it's a thing where you don't regen health and you just mine for stuff. I really want to do like a big one of those as a series eventually, and but we have like more than just 4 people doing it because those
Mm-hmm.
get like really intense, and it's cool to see like what other people are doing. Like this one person is doing really good. They have like some gold apples ready to go and have some diamonds, but you go to someone else and like they're struggling to get iron, and then you can see like oh maybe they'll make a big comeback at the end or something. Like those are like always exciting.
Mm. Yeah, no, I remember a few
They
of those.
it's just really hard to schedule.
Oh,
Yeah, those I could play. I could play like one of those every day and not get bored because I love them so much.
oh, oh. This was supposed to be the wrap up section of the podcast, and it's been going on for quite a while.
Yeah, we said talk about what you're excited for, and I delivered.
Yes, you did. I almost have a whole other podcast recording, like with this alone. I'm at 56 minutes with this second recording. So this is. What do you have?
Yeah, this
And
hit hour 45 overall.
nice. Yeah, this is a super long podcast. Whew. Unless we want to cut it into two parts. No shit. Hey cat. Oh, the cat came out of nowhere. Just meow. What's up? Hey. Okay, fine. Ignore me. Alright. Unless you got anything else to add, I think I'm
I
all good.
probably could, but we should end it now, or this would be like a 3 hour long podcast.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Um, thank you for listening to this. If you had that much time, because this is a long one. Thank you for watching. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Click the bell notification button. Want to talk about something, leave a comment down below, or find us somewhere. I don't know. You see our Twitters. Go do something about it. Yeah, it was fun. I like this one. This one was a fun one to do. Like nothing but good vibes.
Technically a two-part podcast on my part,
Um,
so gonna be
yes,
fun
from the
syncing
past
this one
and
up.
the future. Oh yeah.
Daylight savings, you bitch.
We don't even do daylight savings, and we gotta do that. Okay, anyway, that's the end of the podcast. Bye.
Later.